The Moscow Circus has come to town, but in today's modern era, is the concept too old-fashioned to draw interest? We talked to producer Kenneth Lee about reinventing the circus for today's audience, whether it makes any money, and on continuing his family's legacy. We all know that it's actually notoriously difficult to make money running shows in general. You run the Moscow Circus. How do you make money from running a circus?
The entertainment industry, I mean, in itself it's a challenging business.
Yeah.
And but for me, you know, when I conceived of the plan to produce the Moscow Circus and present it here in Malaysia, in terms of business, I had to leave considerations on the money side to a side first. And I had to do that because first and foremost, your focus must be on the product. Okay, and if the product does not attain a certain level in terms of excellence and standard, if it does not connect with people, you know, from an emotional point of view or even from the point of view of just plain appreciation, okay, you'd be in trouble.
Okay.
You know, but the circus is kind of special as a form of entertainment.
Correct.
Because it's ageless. It takes adults and the grown-ups today back to their childhoods, and it is real.
I understand that part of it and leaving the money considerations aside, but it's not a charity. I mean, like, how much have you spent to sort of set it up, and are you even expecting to break even at the end of this very long tour?
Well, I certainly hope to make a good profit. Of course, we all do. But the important thing is that when we do go on a tour and when we plan the logistics out, you must be very disciplined, you know, on how many cities you want to do, how much time you want to spend in a given city, commit to that, know your cost factors, okay, and then plan from there as to how you should be pricing it and what kinds of revenue streams, you know, that you can expect. So it's not just about the ticket sales, you know, we do also look at sponsorship revenues, and there is the secondary spend revenue as well.
It's not short to say that this business is actually very much in your blood. Your dad actually ran and came up with the Royal London Circus, which was very, very famous actually in the late 90s to early 2000s.
Indeed.
Is that why you came up with something now? Because your late father, sadly your late father, it's really in your blood? Is that why you wanted to create the show now?
The English have a saying, you know, about circus: when the sawdust gets in your boots, it's hard to shake it off. My father was mainly a marketing man, you know, nothing royal about him, nothing English about him. He hailed from Klang, but he had an English partner, a gentleman by the name of Richard Chipperfield. The Chipperfield Circus is a very famous family-run circus from England. And he partnered together, and after around 4 years, you know, Richard called it a day, and my father bought over entirely his shares, dropped the Chipperfield name, and maintained the London Circus moniker, but added the word royal. But my dad never got a royal charter.
I see.
It was a marketing thing. But it caught on, and the name stuck.
Why do you think people will be drawn to come to the circus? I know there is an interesting resurgence in interest following The Greatest Showman, which was a big movie hit, so people were thinking about Barnum and Bailey, but even Barnum and Bailey, the Ringling Brothers, even they shuttered and they, you know, swept up.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so why in this modern age with all kinds of entertainment, you have everybody fighting, how will you even get people to come? Isn't it a little, are you scared that people think that it's a little old-fashioned?
No, on the contrary. I think if there was something that would be a pulling factor, it would be that the circus is a throwback, you know, to how entertainment should be. Real, raw, something which the whole family can appreciate. And it's a departure from how how we experience our daily lives nowadays, you know, in terms of how we amuse ourselves.
If your dad had been around, do you think he would have enjoyed what you're doing?
One of the reasons why the circus is here today was, and this is personal, you know, but I don't mind sharing this, was that as when my dad was dying, I made him a pledge, you know, that I would start a circus. I would start a circus, and he asked me, you know, what circus? And I said, the Moscow Circus. So this is a realization of that promise I made to my old man. And I'm sure, you know, if he's looking down at me right now, you know, he would be proud of what we're doing.